Welcome back to another Spilldrop video. Today we are looking at a few super modules based on a build designed by the one and only Lucky Llama. Now, if you don't know who Lucky Llama is, you can find him carrying Spoon Kid, Blazed, and a number of other creators in Rust on any given wipe. However, you can also find him on Patreon. So if you like these super modules, then you might consider subscribing to his Patreon channel, where you can see how the greater build that we were inspired by comes together. Now, the build that I'm referring to is called the Kevin Cube. The core of this base design uses the U-shaped stair building block to navigate between floors and to act as a makeshift shelf throughout the design. Now, I really loved the idea of using those stairs in a super module, so I came up with 4 variants of a core concept like the 2x1 central column, and I'm going to take you through these 4 designs, starting with my tier 1 variant. I want to apologize in advance if I sound a little bit odd. I've been pretty sick for the last week and a half, so if my voice sounds weird and scratchy, it's because it's still recovering. Let's go ahead and get straight into the first core module that I've got for you today, the tier 1. From the outside, you can see we've got the 1x2 with a little bit of verticality there. Coming through the front door, got a very basic entryway, tier 1, a refrigerator, got some towels down here along the ground, got our light source going. Double door through here takes you to the TC room as well as main loot. So you can see we've got barrels down here for the storage, 4 down below, 2 small boxes that you can see underneath the stairs there as well. And then in the TC area up here, we've got a bunch of these floating shelves with small boxes stacked up on them. You can add additional adapters like you see on the tops of these boxes, on most of the fronts of these boxes as well, but it gets really visually cluttered leaving them in there, so I took them out for a lot of these designs just so that way it's a little easier to see what's going on. But as you can see, all of these have their top adapters where that's possible to add them. We've got 14 small boxes just in this part of the module here, obviously the 2 down there. We've got 2 furnaces as well and our TC there. Taking a look, this core is pretty cheap, as you can see. Back behind us here through this door, we've got a couple more barrels back there and 5 small boxes. Moving up the stairs, we've got some of these floating wall cabinets. They're a lot narrower than the floating shelves with the boxes, so they fit well in kind of a hallway type area without impeding too much of your mobility. But I've also added a regular weapon rack here just because it's much smaller than anything else and really doesn't block the flow of traffic at all. There's also an engineering workbench and 8 small boxes for additional storage beyond the wall cabinets. We have another furnace here and a small battery to kind of help you navigate up this stairway without having to jump. And in the last section here, we've got 3 furnaces along this wall. We've got a research bench and a large box down below, and we've got some additional sleeping bags. You noticed the towels down at the front, so in total you can fit 5 sleepers in this layout, but it really depends on how tall you want to go or what else you want to do with this space. One more thing about this tier 1 module is if you use the double door and single door combination like you see here, you create an airlock that prevents people from pushing through this gap. It's kind of a nice feature before you get to garage doors or something that's a little bit more secure like an armored door, and will help prevent people from going deep on your base, and they can't even see the tool cupboard from here, so it's definitely a nice feature to have. Up next, we're going to look at one of the tier 2 variants that I've got here. Straight through this way, you can see we've got the tier 2 workbench, a couple of sleeping bags, and a locker, all of its adapters, and some small boxes down below. Through this garage door, we've got a bunch of small boxes here, 5 in total, and 2 large boxes down there as well. I've mixed it up with boxes and barrels throughout these modules so you can see how different layouts can be achieved and get you kind of your optimal storage patterns. But for most of these small box placements, I recommend using the hard side stone walls facing in to get those placements. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough to get these two to fit side by side. Up through here, we've got our tool cupboard. Looking at it, not super expensive for the upkeep on this module, as you can see. That's pretty cool. We've got some of these wall cabinets, a bunch of these floating shelves and small boxes, a barrel down here as well, a shotgun trap in case you missed that earlier. We also have 2 vertical barrels up here and 2 small boxes on top of this shelf. So 9 small boxes worth of storage in this module. The 2 wall cabinets count as 2 more, and then 3 barrels worth of storage as well. Quite an efficient use of the space. On this shelf, we've got 3 low barrels and 3 small boxes. You can kind of see all tucked in there. And then moving up, we've got 2 wall cabinets, 2 more barrels up top, 2 more boxes on that shelf, 2 boxes on this shelf, and 3 of these low-grade based furnaces. The door open, you can kind of see it all a little bit better. A very neat layout, not too overcrowded. Definitely one that I like, especially if this is the design that you're going for. You can really mix and match these different module layouts as much as you want to make them work, but I think that this particular module right here is one of my favorites in terms of just how well it turned out. For my other tier 2 variants, we've got this design right over here. Through the front door, we've got our tier 2, got 2 low barrels and a weapon rack. There's also 2 small boxes down below the tier 2 and 2 sleeping bags here in the entryway. One of the best and most overpowered garage doors with 2 points of visibility, and through there we've got 4 small boxes down underneath the stairs and 3 low barrels. Moving on up to where the TC is, you can see what the upkeep is for this guy, even cheaper than the last one. And in this module, we've got 8 small boxes and 1 wall cabinet, bringing the total to about 9 small boxes worth of storage. Behind me here, we've got 2 lockers for rapid rekitting, 2 more sleeping bags, and then 12 electric furnaces up top. This is a bit of a smaller variant in case you didn't want to go quite as high with this central core column, or if you wanted to isolate the TC segment from the rest of your base. This is a solid way to do it, but also just a very compact core. My last variant is a drop box bunker design. For this variant, you have to have second story or even further up access to get in. Come through here. I've got straight away an auto turret, an electric furnace, a barbecue grill and a small box, a locker and a refrigerator, pretty much everything that you need for a nice little cozy entryway. I also have the double door, single door airlock here with the armored doors, as you can see there. And down into the core, we have 9 small boxes and 3 weapon racks. There's also 2 additional individual weapon racks up top and 2 auto crafters on the tier 3. Down here we've got the core. As you can see, the Dropbox bunker is built in right here with our deposit side and our retrieval side. 2 more individual weapon racks and 2 low barrels down there underneath the stairs. Inside the core, we have a sleeping bag here. We obviously have our 2 drop boxes that you can see. A number of these individual weapon racks because it's pretty tight in here. 9 small boxes worth of storage and 1 low barrel here. Looking at the TC, the upkeep for this one is definitely pretty high because of the HQM, but everything else is pretty reasonable. And that's about it for this design and for these modules in general. Again, these super modules were inspired by Lucky Llama's Kevin Cube design, so if you want to see how his design comes together, I recommend checking out his Patreon, becoming a patron, and benefiting from his insane wealth of knowledge. And Lucky Llama, if you're watching this, keep it up, man. You're doing a great job. If you've enjoyed this video, or if you have any questions about how any of these designs came together, feel free to like the video down below and leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out, or maybe even make a build along video if the requests are there. If you want to see more, check out the channel and consider subscribing. I make a ton of these super module videos, and if you've got any ideas for stuff that you want to see, let me know, because I'm always looking for more inspiration. This has been your friend Spilldrop, inspired by one of the greatest Rust players of all time, Lucky Llama. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.